What's going on, YouTube? It's Thread the Needle. To my right, I got Corey. To my left, I got Worldwide Guap, aka Wally World Guap. Before we get into what we're gonna talk about today, I want to make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button. It definitely helps out the channel, and click that notification bell. All right, let's go on hop into what we're gonna talk about. And it's gonna be former teammates Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry. But speaking of teammates, I'm gonna talk about what Kevin Durant said on the podcast, where he was asked top 5 players that you've ever played with, and he listed in the order: Kyrie, James Harden, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and the great Serge Ibaka. And I just want to see how y'all felt about that list.
I really believe, first of all, him leaving Russ out, if they asked him who were his favorite teammates, it would have been cool. But I actually watched the whole episode last night, and it was actually a pretty dope episode. I mean, I would encourage y'all to actually watch the whole episode too, because afterwards, what he said that they called him out on it. They had to call him out on it at first, but he did say he was tripping for not saying Russ. And then in his defense, he did say he corrected it and said he would have put Russ at 4 and then put Klay at 5, so it would have been Kyrie, James, Curry, Russ, and Klay. But I definitely believe he kind of was being a little petty at the same time, because if you notice, like before he said Serge Ibaka, he kind of had like a hesitation. He thought about that last spot. So I know Russ definitely somehow came in his mind. I'm not believing that he just forgot about Russ. What he said, I forgot about Russ. I ain't gonna lie. Like, how do you forget about your most notorious teammate, the teammate that you had a beef with? I'm not gonna say y'all beef, but everybody know y'all had y'all little moment when the first time y'all played where y'all was talking trash. So it was definitely something there. So I know you didn't just forget about Russ, but I don't know what y'all thought.
Well, I want to go and let the Thunder insider that we got in the group talk about how he felt about it. Did you think it was a shot at Russell Westbrook?
No, he good.
No. I don't think it's a shot at Well, honestly, I do think it's a shot at Westbrook for you to play with Harden for like a couple of months, and then he's like your 2, and you just forget about Westbrook, and then you bring up Serge Ibaka, and I don't even think Serge Ibaka is better than Draymond, so I don't even know, but I guess it is a shot. I don't know why he's still tripping about it. He's the one who left Russ, so maybe Russ said some crazy stuff. Really hard to tell with those type of things.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought it was a shot. It's the fact that not only Westbrook, I was telling Marvin, I was okay if he would have said Draymond Green instead of Westbrook, because you got an argument with that. They asked you top 5 players you'll play with, and granted, we all know Westbrook is more accomplished, but in terms of teammates, I mean, you could argue Draymond was a better teammate with a stacked team. He was willing not to shoot, be a playmaker, all-time defender. So the fact that you left off 2 all-stars and went with, yeah, he's a good role player, but went with a role player over those 2, I definitely believe it was a shot from KD. But he tried to make up for it, but hey, we already knew about the beef that they had. Well, I don't know if people like to call it, but I like to call it the beef that they had. So I definitely think it was a jab at Westbrook, especially while he over there with the Wizards and they struggling. But Kevin Durant also had another list that was kind of talked about, and that was his all-time roster, where he listed point guard, the son of LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, himself at the power forward, and Hakeem. And on that bench, it was Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, T-Mac, Dirk, Shaq, KG, and AD. So do y'all agree with the all-time roster that he made?
Yeah. I mean, he's got all the greats on there that I would put on there, including him and LeBron and Curry and Kobe and Jordan. So I think the team's pretty good, and Shaq and Dirk. So yeah, I think the team's pretty good. I don't think with those type of things, I don't think he's missing out on that squad.
I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't put Kyrie and James Harden on that list, to be honest.
Man, the way he been talking lately, I'm surprised too.
And I watched the clip when he was, not the clip, I saw the whole episode, but that specific clip when he got to his last 2 spots, he said I'm assuming he was talking to Kyrie and James when he said don't get offended by this, and then that's when he said AD and KG. And I think that was kind of, I don't know, I think that was kind of petty. I don't know. I think he should have just left it at 5. I think he should have just left it at 5. And then, like I said, I think Westbrook is a better teammate. I think Westbrook is a better teammate. And I think Westbrook is a better teammate than KG. And I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't put Kyrie and James on that list, to be honest. I mean, obviously it's a pretty stacked fucking team. I mean, you got literally 12 of the top 20, 25, 30 best players of all time. So I mean, obviously you got. I mean, I have no arguments against that list. My only surprise maybe was that he. I mean, he kind of threw T Mac in there. I'm gonna be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
T Mac is an all time great. Not debating that. But I mean, literally everybody that was on that team, arguably. I mean, AD kind of in the same boat with T Mac. He's not top 20, but everyone else on that list is top 20, top 15. So
KD is just like I would have to guess KD picking off of him like
yeah,
a tall guy who can score.
I
So
get that.
the shortest doing teams like Curry, and that's just like the greatest shooter of all time. So you got to kind of slap Curry in there.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that he threw a lot of tall scorers in there, like himself.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny that he moved LeBron to the point because if LeBron was a forward, he would have to put himself on the bench. So, so that was kind of funny. But I'm surprised Larry Bird didn't make the list. That's kind of, especially with a guy like Dirk on it. I definitely thought you should put Larry. And then, like Wap said, T Mac. I did feel like T Mac was a little reach. And I mean, I get it. You know, you're trying to go more 2000s, like your era, like. But I mean, I'm pretty sure you was old enough to see Larry, or when you was growing up, you knew of Larry when he was still that guy. So I'm kind of surprised somebody like Larry didn't make the list. But let's go hop into his teammate Stephen Curry, who's on a historic run right now. I'm just gonna name off a few accomplishments that Curry has got lately. He's the first player to make 70 plus threes in a 10-game span. He's had 6 games of 10 plus threes this season. Nobody in their career has more than 5. He just broken Kobe's record for most consecutive games, 30 plus at the age 33 or more. I mean, Curry's on the run. Is this the greatest run you've ever witnessed?
Nah, because I still believe the 2015-16 run Curry had was I don't think he can top that. But this is I seen a perfect tweet. It's basically we're watching 2016 Curry and 2021 Curry's body having the 2006 Kobe season, where he's like he has less talent on his team now, but he's carrying them. He's trying to get them to the playoffs. And I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, this is probably a top 5 run I've probably ever seen, top 3. But I don't believe it's better than his 2015-16 run, though. To be honest.
Yeah, this Curry run is very impressive. Can't say I didn't expect it because of his team now. Just kind of got to do that for them to win a lot of games and make the playoffs. But my personal favorite run is like Russell Westbrook's MVP run. Obviously. So I can't say that's the best run I've seen. I'm kind of biased, but it is a pretty nice run. But a guy like Curry, I'm not gonna say you expect it to happen, but we're not really surprised it's happening.
Yeah. I definitely thought like something like this would have, not like this, but like what was that? It was kind of expecting him to elevate his game this year with the team that he had surrounded him without Clay, and now Wiseman going down.
Yeah.
But I will say it's the greatest run I've ever seen. The dude is literally averaging 41 points in April.
Yeah.
40.7 points. So it's kind of ridiculous just to see. And he's doing it against good teams. Celtic, 76ers, who we know got great perimeter defenders. Mm-hmm. And granted, Ben Simmons wasn't out there yesterday, but they still got Matisse and Danny Green and other people that are known to be able to give a good hand. So it's very impressive to see what Curry's doing. But my question is, where is he in your MVP race?
Oh, he's been in my top 3 the whole season. I haven't moved him out of my top 3. He's not moving. I don't believe he's going to jump Embiid or Jokic, but he's 3rd behind them to me. I mean, he's been my 3. I mean, Curry he's been the MVP to me this season. Honestly, if it wasn't for Jokic averaging a triple-double and fucking Embiid just being just the best version of himself, he would have been by far the MVP to me.
Yeah, I agree with Marvin. That's my top 3 on MVP. It's just anything Marvin said was just perfectly said. Embiid's playing the best basketball of his career. You got Jokic averaging a triple-double, and now with Jamal Murray out, he's going to have to do a whole lot more, and those stats are going to jump a little bit more. So, definitely 1, 2, 3.
Now, before you go into the next topic, I kind of want to know, Corey already said his favorite run. What was y'all favorite run by a player? I'll probably say mine was definitely Isaiah Thomas's when he was with the Celtics in 2017. What year was that? Was that 2017?
I think it was.
The
It
year
was
his
2016.
yeah, the year his sister died and all that shit was happening to him. He was just going crazy and almost got us to the finals. If he didn't get hurt, I truly believe he would have catapulted us to the finals. But it is what it is. I don't know what y'all think though.
I mean, Curry's run is my favorite run. I mean, like of course it with bias and me having my own child. I think the February run Tatum had the opening jump to the superstar or become a superstar. I thought that was last year I thought that was a very nice run to watch. But yeah, I believe Curry is the greatest thing I've ever seen, especially with the way highlights and stuff are on YouTube and things. Like to be able to actually see what he's doing and really bucking on these dudes for game after game after game. Like I said, 41 points in April. That is asinine. All right. Now they was having a conversation on Undisputed before we started. And I ain't really had this as a question, but they was talking was he a top 10 player all time? And Skip said he got him in the 20th, 20th I believe, with James Harden above him. And Shannon about walked off the set.
See, man, that's exactly why I stopped watching shows like that. I mean, I'll watch it. I watch little clips just for Shannon because I like hearing Shannon talk. But Skip is just a troll. I honestly don't believe why we still give Skip the attention that we give him. I mean, in terms of just getting mad at certain stuff he says. I mean, he's been trolling his whole career. I mean, the dude has literally said LeBron is not a top 10 player before, and he stood on it. So just by that, I mean, that's when I stopped taking him serious. But I mean, if you don't have Curry at least top 15 in your all time, I really want to know why. And then he had James Harden above him.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
It is definitely you got to have him top 15, but the thing is more of you can have him 20, but you can't have a guard that's playing in today's
game. Yeah, there's no guard better than him right now.
No.
Yeah. None. And then what Skip loves to do when he loves debating when they had a daily debate for Jordan and LeBron, he always bring up 6 rings. Curry has 3 rings.
Yeah, he was talking about his certain games in the finals, the game 7 in the fourth quarter where he came up short with the 1 for 6, and just how he doesn't have a Finals MVP, and he was just listing off. It was about 5 games he went off of, and Shannon was trying to dispute that, saying dude, you trying to point out little games, and it's dude averaged 26 in this one and all this other stuff. And they gave Iggy one for literally guarding a man who was putting 30 on his head. So it's you can say you don't have a Finals MVP, and that's gonna be something that you can hold against him. But just for me personally, I got him number 10, and it's just because he revolutionized the game.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, I know it ain't got nothing to do with numbers, but that's something you gotta credit him for. Him, MJ, Wilt, they did things that changed the game. So at some point that stuff has to matter.
Yeah, Curry's in my top 10. I believe by the time he's retired, he'll definitely be in my top 5. He'll be in my top 5.
I don't know about that one.
He'll be in my top because you gotta think about it. He will go down as the greatest shooter of all time. I believe. I mean, you can argue Magic, but I would argue that Curry might be the best point guard of all time when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I believe your top 5 for me. My top 5 would be who I believe are the best players at each position, and I mean, you can do that with every position. You can have a top 5 like that, and Curry would be in my top 5.
I feel like Curry had to get either another MVP or an MVP in the championship before I put him on the Magic, or he can just do something like he's doing for the next 2-3 years and just join the Boston Celtics and win.
Yeah, I definitely think Curry will get him another MVP before he retired. I can see him getting another MVP, another ring. With the Warriors, I don't believe so unless Clay comes back being Clay, and then they just kind of rebuild the team. But I mean, if he leaves Golden State, which I kind of actually don't see, I think
he said he's going to retire Warriors.
Yeah, I think but I mean, he could leave.
But that's a different type. That's a different type of.
He also said he wanted to stay competitive while with the Warriors. So
yeah,
I mean, next year you got to run it back with Clay because you just got to see what y'all got, and then
the year after
that, it's it might be open field. You know what I'm saying? It might be a true, and I think that's gonna be something covered, kind of like LeBron's decision. Kevin Durant's decision, and I honestly believe it'll be bigger than what Kevin Durant had, just because of what he's doing right now.
And then this will be Curry's like first time really in free agency too. I mean, he's never like they've always brought him back.
Yeah.
So this would be his first time actually kind of maybe like meeting up with other teams. You know, seeing what other teams got to offer because I believe if Curry goes to another team, he's definitely gonna get another ring. It's just the Warriors. I mean, unless Clay is back to being like Clay is gonna like next year Clay's gonna have to come back being the same Clay he was 2 years ago, which I believe he can because I mean his game, like for the injury that he had, his game he can come back and be the same Clay. I mean he's a shooter. Not like he's dunking on people.
The rim.
Yeah, like so I believe Clay can come back being the best version of himself. Maybe not the best version, but like a still Clay. And then you just gotta build out that team. Maybe James Wiseman comes back, or you trade James Wiseman and get another like piece to the puzzle.
Shit, maybe they get a free agent.
Yeah, or they can just sign someone. So, you know, it definitely be interesting to see how they round out their team next year.
Yeah.
But Curry will definitely give him another MVP before it's said and done. I believe that.
I mean, I think to be honest, I really just think they need to get players to come off the bench. I mean,
they need
Toscana Anderson. I think that's like the best player they got coming off the bench in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean that's
good.
yeah. I know.
Like,
he's good, but like, on paper that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
he's a great rotational player. Like he definitely is gonna still be in the rotation.
6'9" Mexican.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
And it's like I mean, that starting five, you could argue the top five starting five in the league. If they keep Wiggins and then Clay comes back, that five, that'll be a pretty solid five with Wiseman, Green, and Curry. That'll be pretty solid. And like I said, I want to see what they're able to do when Clay's back and Wiseman hopefully back and healthy because he's a big man and any big man with leg problems, you know, that could snowball. So,
hey man, Draymond Green, I have something to say to you if you ever come across this. Don't ever say you're the best defender of all time, cause boy, Tatum was cooking that man. Like Tatum went out of his way to cook Draymond every time he was on him. Like for you to say you're the best defender on the team and y'all was having to trap Tatum with you, or when it was just you guarding Tatum by yourself, he was scoring with ease.
That's funny.
You're not the best defender of all time.
I feel like Draymond. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, that was pretty much. I just had to make sure he never said that shit again.
Yeah, I feel like Draymond, especially at this point in his career, he's more of a Dennis Rodman like post defender.
Yeah,
instead of like an on ball defender. He used to be a lockdown on ball once
yeah,
upon a time. But
nah.
Yeah, it's new sheriff in town. It's new sheriff in town.
Yeah, you not sticking out there with KD, Tatum, goddamn hard. You ain't sticking out there with them boys now. Now back 2015, 16, that's cool. We can switch. Like they'll do a little switch. You can stay out there on the switch, but now you know you got a little slower. You know.
Don't shoot threes no more.
Yeah, you can't shoot threes no more. You blowing layups to tie the game. That was awful, nigga. That layup he missed against us, that was terrible, Draymond. I'm not even gonna lie. But I do believe once he gets Clay back and, you know, he got his boys back out there, maybe he'll elevate himself again, but don't say you're the best defender of all time.
Yeah, but back to Curry, like, you see what Chris Paul's doing at his age. Like, Curry get there, it's gonna be wild. Like, Curry been playing for a minute.
Yeah.
A lot of these players been playing for a long time because medicine is upgrading. They're learning how to load manage these guys. So it's gonna be crazy to watch Curry at 36 still balling.
And he just, I mean, he doesn't continue to grow his game because I feel like he's peaked in terms of that.
Yeah.
But it's just like to watch him affect the team and how like he's able to get players open just because of how much of a threat he is. I'm just really excited to see what the Warriors can do next year, what role players they add with the squad. And I want to see if they can get a top 4 seed in the West because we all know the West is very competitive. Now, y'all got anything on KD, Steph, y'all want to add? Cause,
no.
Well, because I got like one more question before we dip. Just a little yes or no, right to left. Did you expect Zion to get his shooters early?
Before you answer that, I was dead ass just bringing up Zion.
Do you expect Zion to get his shooters early? Yes or no?
Yes and no.
All right. You expect him to get his shooters early?
Yes.
All right. No. Do you think he deserves a shooters early?
I don't know. He's balling this year. I don't know, man. It's like the shoe thing. Like, he is the only player that got his shoe in the second year.
You know what I'm saying?
It is like, we already know that they are already pushing this man. I know you want a yes or no, but I just gotta. I'm sorry. You can't just yes or no. But like, you can't just like, they already pushed him on the cover of 2K, so you kind of already saw it coming, him getting forced. But he is balling this year, but I still think it's a reach. But it's not a reach because I know he gonna not get worse.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't know, cause like, it's Zion, like he's good.
For your last point is exactly why I believe that he deserved the shoe.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's only gonna get better, and he's already a top 15, 20 player in the league now. So, I mean, I'm cool with it. I mean, because I mean, for one, me and James actually talking about this earlier. I mean, Tatum. I mean, you can kind of argue Tatum could have got his first, but at the same time, Zion has more hype than Tatum, so you gotta feed into the hype.
Ain't shit funny, nigga.
Hey,
ain't shit funny.
If we talking about production and
Ain't
just
shit
having
funny.
and just like what you've done of your career, Tatum definitely should have got it. before
Definitely,
Zion.
that's so funny.
But Zion has the hype, you know, and not saying that this is why they did it, but I mean, you can make a lot of money on like that. You can make a good profit off of some Zion shoes, to be honest with you. Zion is, you know, he's what these kids looking up to. Like, he's their LeBron now. Like, this is what they're coming into. This is like the best like player that they probably seen coming up into, like, you know, younger kids. You know, when we was coming up, we had Kobe's, we had AI, LeBron. You know, we had those. And now they got the Zions, you know, just his peers.
Yeah.
Zion, Luka, them.
They're
So
looking at Giannis and stuff.
Yeah,
like, all
Giannis.
these high schoolers loving Giannis.
yeah, so I definitely think he deserved it, and I'm not mad at him getting his own shoe. But now Tatum is next.
Yeah, I'll say yes in terms of deserve it. Did I expect him to get it this early? No, but
That's a good one.
all I know is Jordan. My son, not Nick. So
That is funny.
I'm pulling up on you.
He
Okay,
looking
like-
over Tatum is like
Like-
Zion.
Well, yeah, that's really it for the video. Make sure you drop a like, especially if you made it this far. Helps with the YouTube algorithm. And deuces.